Happy Valentine's Day, fellas. Let's talk about manhood and how the alpha male manosphere cesspool is warping it. Now, just because the manosphere boys aren't wrong doesn't make doing the opposite of them right. I'm not here to tell you to be a submissive feminine lapdog. The problem with online male gurus is that they prescribe right actions, but pervert them with wrong motives. I should probably do the qualification thing, right? I have been happily married for 17 years to my high school sweetheart. I've got 6 kids, one of whom I watch on behalf of the state because some other boy couldn't do his job as a man. I'm absolutely crushing it at being a man, husband, and father, but that's because I understand the wisdom of service. You may have noticed that my qualifications didn't include money, possessions, or status, because none of that shit actually matters. I'm sorry that some of you have been told that manhood can be defined by such shallow material things. Let's talk about leadership first. Red pill dudes like to tell you that a man should always be in charge, and as a matter of fact, I agree. I just have different reasons. As men, we pride ourselves on our rationale, so let's play to that strength for a minute. If you feel that being a man should put you in charge of your relationship or family, let's follow that line of reasoning. First, why does a family need a leader? I mean, why does any organization need a leader for that matter? I mean, what's wrong with an egalitarian solution where everybody gets an equal say? You might think, well, a leader needs to provide direction. A leader needs to make the tough choices. Maybe you're thinking of a situation where the people in the organization can't or won't come to a consensus, and there has to be somebody in charge with whom the buck stops. Whatever your answer, I think it's safe to sum it up as saying an organization requires a leader to make sure that the organization is productive and healthy. Whether it's a family, a business, or a whole country, there has to be somebody in power with the needs of the group in mind. Logically, then, the health of the group must be more important than that leader. It means that in order to fulfill that office well, a leader must humble themselves in service to the organization. So back to relationships, if you feel that a man should be the one in charge, and again, I would agree with you, that means he has to put the relationship, the family, far above himself. So if you are not leading through humble service, then by definition, you are not doing your job as a man. If you believe that you're the prize, you're the top G, then you are failing as a man. You know, while we're on the topic of service, let's talk about false service for a minute. I had a guy that used to call me for advice and counseling and whatever, which was pretty often because he really seemed to enjoy self-sabotage. One day he calls me up to tell me that his marriage is basically over and the sky is falling. Now, this wasn't terribly unusual, so after a few questions, I ascertained that he was very upset because his wife was not sleeping with him enough. Now, this is a tough subject because while it's true that your wife does not owe you sex, she doesn't owe you her body, it's also true that a relationship is about mutual service. Fellas, if sex is being used against you as a weapon or used like a treat when you're a good boy, then that's a serious weakness in your relationship and you need to talk about it and work on it. If something, like sex in this case, is a priority for you, then it should be a priority for your partner as well. But that road goes both ways, and I knew this man was not meeting his wife's needs. So I asked him, what are you doing for your wife? Huh? You just get home and chill because you worked all day? Do you share the burden of parenting? Do you listen to anything she says? Yeah, you just think she should meet you at the door with knee pads on. You don't want to put into the relationship, but she's supposed to put out, huh? Now you can probably guess this guy was being a pretty poor husband and father, and fellas, that shit ain't sexy. Now we talked, I thought I was getting somewhere with him, and then he summed it up for me. Okay, so if I just do the dishes and bathe the kids, then she's gonna sleep with me more.
Missed it by that much.
If you only serve your family, or anyone for that matter, just so you can bank points to redeem with them later, you're missing the point. Now, on sex, if you are a single guy and you are trying to just pull chicks for sex, then you should definitely follow the advice of the alpha, sigma, red pill guys, because their advice definitely works. I mean, you should be working out so much, it's all you can think or talk about. You should hustle so hard, you don't even know what to do with all your money. Buy an expensive sports car. Act like you're the smartest, most attractive, most important person in every room. You will definitely pull whores. You're gonna get whores. Then, hold on. I don't mean that in a subjective way or like in a pejorative. The women that hang around Andrew Tate, Dan Bilzerian, rappers, celebrities, they do so as a barter. Now, they get something. They get clout or money or fame or drugs or whatever it is. But in return, they know services are expected. Just because it doesn't happen in the red light district doesn't make that behavior any less prostitution. Now, if that's what they're after, then more power to them. And if that's the kind of women you want to attract, then by all means, continue to watch these alpha male channels. And I mean that if that's what makes you happy. But you also have to stop denigrating those types of women because they're obviously the kind you're trying to attract. And there is a lot of denigration. I notice a lot of misogynistic talk in the manosphere, which is weird because I thought it was all about being a better man. It's ironic that they're tearing down the women they're clearly teaching you to attract. It's also ironic that Andrew Tate's prescription for escaping the matrix is to be a super consumer. Go buy overpriced watches and sports cars that have no intrinsic value. Yeah, that definitely sounds like you're escaping the system. There's a lot of irony and contradiction in the way that these guys talk. They love to talk about the hopeless future that these slutty women are going to have in their 30s. I don't know, maybe they're not wrong, but as a man, why the fuck do you care? Again, let's be rational about this. Do you think any women are going to see those posts? No, because the audience is 1,000% male. Logically then, that must mean those posts are actually for that male audience. Why would that audience want to see that content? Because it's pure fucking copium that they want to smoke by the digital kilo. The reason guys love to talk about how sorry these women are going to be tomorrow is because those boys are sad and hopeless today. She's so run through. She's gonna be so sorry when men don't want her later. Okay, bro, but you're still unhappy right now. The alpha, sigma, red pill, manosphere stuff isn't helping you guys. It's just a drug that's making you feel a little bit better while life is passing you by. Now, if you want to improve yourself as a man and you've been watching this garbage, all is not lost. They actually do give you some really good actionable advice. It's just hidden amongst their toxic worldview. Like, yes, you should go exercise. I hate to admit it. The fucking fitness people are right. Fucking exercise is actually fucking beneficial in a lot of fucking ways. I hate it. And I hate that they're right about it. Also, learn something. Anything. Consume knowledge. Work on a skill that's going to make you a more desirable partner and provider. Not just monetarily, but like as a person. Mostly though, you need to practice being a selfless servant. Now, for most people, this does not come naturally. This is a muscle that you got to build like any other. Food banks, homeless shelters, animal shelters, big brothers, big sisters, your local religious organization. Those places in your area have a shitload of people that are in need of service. So go do it. It will make you a better man, which is what all this alpha male shit is supposed to be about, right? And maybe while you're busy serving or investing in yourself at the bookstore, you might meet a nice girl. Anyway, fellas, I want you to be a happy man. And that starts with being a good man. So here's to you being a good man. Thanks for watching.